Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy. And let's check this thing out. That is right, we have the Tops Operator 7 on the channel. And this one happens to be a blackout edition. I think it was, I don't know if the blackout edition was a special edition, but it was a blackout edition. This is a knife I've been interested in quite some time now, and it's hard to get. They're very hard to get. I know people crap on them now because Joe X broke it. Joe X breaks everything. It doesn't make it a weak knife. If you feel like you have an opinion about it, there's a number you can call right there. He breaks everything. But what do we got here? This is the Tops Operator 7 1075 high carbon steel with a 5/16 inch spine. This thing is a chunky monkey. Very cool knife. I've always wanted this. You know, some people like the recurve, some people don't. I tend to like recurve sometimes, depending on the knife. I think a recurve matches this knife very well. It has a almost full height flat grind. You can barely see, there's a faint line right along there. This is the full thickness of 5/16 and comes down to a real sharp point. Stupid sharp, does not have my edge on it, but doesn't need it. It's very big and very slicey, surprisingly. I know people talk about edge geometry and blah 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 blah, but this thing is literally freaking like an axe. That's crazy. This thing is pretty cool. Has a finger choil. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people don't like this upper guard. You know, it is what it is. This is not a bushcraft knife. This is a shit hit the fan apocalypse knife. You know, they call it an operator, you know, but this thing's so freaking heavy, you probably wouldn't want to lug it around with you everywhere. It is a moose. This is not mine. This is on loan to the channel to check out. And when I was looking at this knife, there was a couple other options. First off, I seen this knife. Then I came across this knife. But I ultimately purchased this knife. And if you can't see the reason why, you're blind. Just kidding. But I ultimately went with the Longhorn Bowie, mainly because it has a recurve, has a little bit longer blade. Not if you measure to the handle scales, but just overall, it's just a longer cutting edge, and has a better handle. There is just no guard, just a cool knife. But spec wise, I mean, these things are almost identical. The Tops Longhorn just a tad longer, but when it comes to like cutting, these three knives from Tops are kind of like the three. They're all very similarly sized, blade and whatnot. This one being a little narrower, but also being much thicker. This one's a 1/4 inch, this one's 5/16, and this one's a 1/4 inch, and you can just see the difference. It's a freaking moose. So like I said, this one is on loan. And the cool thing about it is I was still looking for one of these. And although I do like this knife, after handling it, I'm kind of glad I didn't purchase it, because I don't think I would have been happy with it. It's cool. It's reasonably comfortable. But other than that, it's just cool guy shit. That's all it is. I don't see the functionality in it. You know, some people love them. I would love to own it, but I don't want to pay for it. So therefore, I'm actually happy with my decision to go with another knife besides this guy. What else we got? Yeah, so let's look at this. Overall length, we're looking at, what are we talking? 12 and 5/8 with a 6.5 inch cutting edge and a 7 1/4 inch blade from the handle scales. It's a neat knife, but it's kind of gimmicky knife, you know. I was shocked to to see Joe X break this thing being this thick, but it has to do with Topps' dual heat treat. Now, if this was a fully heat treated 1075 blade, I do not think it would have suffered as catastrophically as it did in Joe X's tests. And same thing with all Topps. I really don't think they would all fail as quickly as they do in Joe X's tests, which I think are valid tests, by the way. He doesn't just break stuff, he has a purpose. If you watch enough of his stuff, you do know that there's a method behind his madness. It comes with a Kydex sheath, fits in there good. Now, I think if I would hit this hard enough, I'm scared to do it. I'm pretty sure this knife would come shooting out of there, because it clicks in harder than it comes out. So I think you could probably drop it. It has one of the swiveled things on here, little clips and whatnot. Yeah, I just, after having this in my hands, it's cool, it's neat, and it's not for me, but it's still cool. But anyways, I'm not going to do too much with it because I'm going to send this back to its owner. I just wanted to take a look at it. And yeah. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching.